Welcome back to another episode of Thought Waves, Thoughts that Unveil. Today's episode explores the depths of human emotions and experiences. In this podcast, we are going to delve into a common human dilemma. Why does it hurt so much when it is not our fault? The topic today we are exploring is something many of us have experienced at some point in our lives. Why is it that we feel so much pain and hurt when we are not responsible for a particular situation? To begin with, let's throw some light on why this happens. So one fundamental aspect of human nature is our innate need for fairness and justice. When something unfair happens to us, it triggers a strong emotional response because it conflicts with our sense of justice and fairness. We have an inherent desire to right things, to balance things. So when we find ourselves in a situation where we are treated unfairly, it can be very distressing. So it is primarily the feeling of injustice that makes us feel hurt. Yes, this is an important factor. But there are other psychological elements involved as well. When something negative happens to us, even if it's not our fault, especially when it's not our fault, we often tend to internalize it. We might question our self-worth or believe that we could have somehow prevented the situation from happening. This self-blame can increase our emotional pain, leading to feelings of sadness, anger, or hopelessness inside us. It seems that our perception of the situation plays an important role in this process. Let me elaborate. Our perception of an event greatly influences our emotional response. If we view an event as a personal attack or a deliberate act against us, the emotional impact is more profound. On the other hand, if we can detach ourselves from the situation and recognize that it is truly beyond our control, it becomes easier to deal with it and deal with the pain. It is an important distinction to make. So how can someone manage these emotions and reduce the pain they feel when they are not at fault? Dealing with such feelings requires a combination of self-reflection, acceptance, and empathy. First, it is important to acknowledge and validate your feelings instead of suppressing them. It's okay to feel hurt. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be sad and disturbed in such situations. Second, we need to examine our thoughts and challenge any self-blame or negative beliefs we hold. It is essential to recognize that it is not our fault and that we are not defined by the actions of others. Now, how do we find closure and move forward? Finding closure often involves forgiving the other person and accepting that some events are simply beyond our control. It's important to remember that forgiveness doesn't mean overlooking the other person's actions, but rather freeing yourself from the emotional burden they caused. Additionally, Seeking help from friends, family, or even professional counselors can be incredibly beneficial in dealing with these kinds of difficult feelings and situations. It is a way of dealing with situations and balancing your emotions. So, on a final note, before we wrap up, remember that it's okay to feel hurt when something unfair happens to us, especially when it's not your fault. Give yourself permission to process those feelings, but also take tiny steps to let go of the things you can't control. Just remember, we can't control someone else's actions. We can only control our response to it. Focus on what you can do to move forward and find healing. And most importantly, be kind to yourself throughout this process, as this may sound simple to advise but needs a lot of patience and inner strength to move forward. Let's reflect and act on this thought-provoking topic today to help ourselves to open up, know, and understand new dimensions in life. Do think about it. So thank you so much for tuning in today to another episode of Thought Waves. Remember, emotions are an integral part of being human, and exploring them helps us better understand ourselves and the people around us. So until next time, embrace the memories, live in the present, and ride the waves of thoughts. Take care. Love you all. Bye-bye.